Alright everybody, welcome back to another epic battle in which we will find out who is the stronger army, House Greyjoy or House Bolton. Now on this side we have the epic forces of House Greyjoy with their epic Kraken shields, the House Guards of House Greyjoy, going up against the Dreadfort Blackguard of House Bolton. The Dreadfort Guard sallying out to meet their opponents after just experiencing a thrashing in their own fortress. Having lost it, they sallied out to help good old Starky Boy win his battle, and they came home to find they did no longer own a castle. They are now marching to put an end to that. They refuse to allow the enemy to live in their homes and to dine on their meals. Who will win in this epic clash? Let's watch and find out. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the rules of our tournament, they need to win 3 rounds. Infantry, cavalry, and archers, or 2 rounds of the 3, to be able to proceed into the next phase of the tournament. Here they go, they're exchanging throwing axes now, and they're into the melee. I honestly think that the Greyjoys actually have a good chance of winning this. Although those massive shields of the Boltons could well be an issue for them. Their lines look a little bit thinner on one side. Like the AI just sort of clustered to one side a bit there. Oh, that guy just got axed to the face. Oh my god, and that one. The throwing skills of these Greyjoys is insane. Their rear line units throwing axes forward. On both sides that appears to be happening. Giving cover to the units in the front. And doing damage to the units in the enemy's rear. Oh my lord. It looks to be quite even. But I think the Boltons are getting pushed back here. There's a lot of Boltons on this side of the field, but I think they're getting folded in on their right flank. The Greyjoys appear to have folded the flank and are now moving in. They have far more numbers over here. And they've broken through this line of Boltons. If they can get behind them with those throwing axes, that's going to be devastating to the Bolton line. Meanwhile, you have Steve-O over here, who's not even willing to help. He's just like, nah, I'm just gonna be here for the perfect camera shot, you know? I don't want to die to a guy. Look at those shields, man. That looks awesome. Not counting his hand going through it. Oh my god! Steve-O! Yeah, that guy saw Steve-O die and was like, nah man, if he can't be safe and he's way outside the battlefield, then we're out. Alright, it looks like the Boltons are getting massively folded on their right wing. Although it could be that, I think the same thing might be happening to the Greyjoys on their left. On the Greyjoy right wing, they appear to be getting folded, but on their left, they're overpowering them. I do not think this is going well for the Boltons, though. I'm seeing a lot of Boltons running away, and I have yet to see any Greyjoys retreating from the field. So, I think this bodes very poorly for House Bolton. I don't think their Blackguard were quite up to task of beating the Greyjoy infantry. Who knows, though, their cavalry might be a different matter. Remember, they've got to win two of the 3 rounds. If they can't win the cavalry round, they will not get to go forward. It is just that simple. Alrighty. Yeah, no, that's it. I think the Bolton line has had it. They got men on their left flank that were fighting valiantly up till now, realizing what happened on their right, are now being forced right off the field. There's throwing axes being sent all directions. The massive Greyjoy charge coming in from the right, just folding these poor boys. They just were not ready for this flank. They've been fighting a very brutal battle on the front lines, but I just don't think it's enough. This man's trying to retaliate. They're trying to stop it. Trying to hold back the forces of House Greyjoy. But the Kraken will not be defeated today. Instead, it is the flayed man who is flayed. Alright, guys. Looks like a win for House Greyjoy. I think we'll jump over to the Cavalry Battle. Alright, here we go everyone. The Cavalry Battle commences. the Ironborn and the Boltons, neither of which really have that proficient of a cavalry. Like, they don't have an elite cavalry unit. Both of their elite units are infantry based. However, it is looking like a more heavily armoured cav force for the Boltons. Let's get in on this charge. It's going to be brutal, boys. Here it goes. The forces colliding with one another. Spear and shield clash with flesh and bone. The Boltons going for that juicy flank over there. Some of the Greyjoys have already slipped around. We got throwing weapons on these boys? Yep, there's javelins. There is javelins. The Boltons got javelins? They do not. Long spears and swords. I think the Greyjoys might be able to take advantage of this if they can get their forces behind their enemy, which they do appear to be sort of starting to do. They are encircling them. And going for some extra charge here on the back line. Here they go. These men coming in to try and put the hurt on the enemy. These guys wielding... Oh yeah, he's got a little javelin in his hand. Using it as a spear. Now he's going to swap hands. Very nice. Very, very versatile cavalry force. Looks like the Cavs all breaking up now. They're dissipating, going to their separate sides for a big clash. The Boltons are lining up over here, and I do feel bad for this poor House Greyjoy soldier just running through this line of Cav. He may get chopped to bits. Steve-O, you may want to get out of there, man. I know you were all about being in the way last time. Alright. Here comes another charge. House Greyjoy refusing to let up. They're bringing their forces forwards. Some men running forward on foot due to the loss of their horse in the melee. And it looks like a bit of a flank. They're hitting from all sides here. The Bolton cavalry completely surrounded. Fighting on two fronts. Not what you want to see if you're a Bolton supporter. Oh, I think the dismounted Greyjoys are probably the scarier ones, to be honest. Once they're off that horse, they can just sit there with their spears and their javies and just do an insane amount of damage. It is hard to tell who the clear winner is right now of this cavalry battle. There is a lot of dismounted Greyjoys, though. And the more of them that are dismounted, the more annoying it's going to be for the Boltons to charge. Because they'll get caught up in the other cavalry, and then they'll just get knocked off their horses as they go past the infantry units. Not counting that guy who just got trampled. Ay, ay, ay. These dismounted boys just going at it. Cavalry charging left and right. There is so many dudes on the field. The bodies, the horses, the carnage. This was probably the fiercest melee yet, the one that met here in this area. Whoa, I'll give that to the Boltons. They are good at dismounting the Greyjoys. There is a lot of Greyjoy boys without horses right now. There's at least 5, 6 on our screen right now. 7. Oh, here comes another charge. I think the Boltons actually have been edging out in these trades. Their horses are just more heavily armoured and can take more of a beating. Whereas the Greyjoy cavalry, you know, they're not bad, but they don't have any armour on their cav. So their horses are completely exposed to lances. Not where you want to be. A bit of a drink. Yeah, when your cavalry force quickly becomes an infantry force, that's always concerning. And look at that. The Greyjoy cavalry forced to flee. They're 1 for 1. It's all tied up. Now it comes down to the Archer battle. Let's do the derpiest part of this video, boys. Oh, dear Lord. Alright, everybody. I've gone ahead and disabled Realistic Battle Mod for the archery match. Simply because they just glitch out really hard when they don't have a commander. Yeah, so we're going to send them in. They're going to shoot at each other at really close range, and then they're probably going to engage in a melee. Out of the two forces who I think would win in a melee, I think it might actually be the Greyjoys. They did edge out in the infantry contest, which gives me a little hope for them that their soldiers are just a better quality. They did get kind of absolutely destroyed in the cavalry contest, but looking at the armor difference, I don't know if you guys are noticing it, but there's a lot more heavily armored archers on the Greyjoy side than there is on the other side. So we'll see. The arrows are going out. Greyjoys are going right in range. Very, very wide formation. Skirmishing a little bit, firing in, backing off, firing in, backing off. The Boltons are very clustered together, whereas the Greyjoys have actually spread out. So I don't think that the Boltons are going to come off too well here. They're getting absolutely shredded in this meat grinder of archery. Oh dear lord. They tried to close the distance, but they just couldn't. It didn't even end up as a melee. The Greyjoy archers just straight up outskilling the Boltons. Alright, my guys. I think you know what that means. It's time to head over to our tournament page. Because the Greyjoys have just defeated the Free Houses of the North. The Boltons are down. They are out of this tournament. Alright everybody, here we are on the tournament page. The Boltons have been crushed and the Greyjoys will move forward. So the next great clash we will see will be House Greyjoy against House Dorne in that bracket. So we're going to have a very interesting semi and quarterfinals, I'm feeling. Alright, that's it for today guys. Thank you all for watching. Bye for now, not forever.